In this video of the course, we are going to be setting up our development environment for our Python development. So for that, first of all, we will go to the Chrome browser and try to download the Python as well as the VS code editor for editing our code. So first of all, I will just open a Chrome browser tab, and in here we will just type here python.org and we will hit enter, and it will take us to this official website of Python where we can download all the versions of Python, as well as we can get the documentation and the community and other things related to the Python. We can also see there are news and events related to Python. So if you want, you can go through the website and take a look at what all things are available on the website. So for now, we are going to be just downloading the latest version of Python. So for that, we will hover over there's a download section, and you can see there are different versions of Python that are available. So you can see all releases, so you can go and take a look at what different releases are available. So you can also get it for different operating systems. For our case, it will be Windows operating system. If you have Mac or Linux, so you can just click over there and take a look at the appropriate version for your operating system. So I will just download the latest version of Python, which is the Python 3.10.4. So we will just click on it, and it will start downloading it for us. So you can see it has started downloading, and it has downloaded the Python version successfully for us. The other piece of software that we are going to be needing will be the VS Code. So I will just type here VS Code. So the VS Code or Visual Studio Code is developed by Microsoft. So after searching, we will get this first result, that is code.visualstudiocode.com. So we will just go to this website, and we're going to be downloading the latest version of the VS Code editor as well. So we can just click on here. It will automatically detect this operating system and download the appropriate version for you. So if you are using Mac or Linux, so it will automatically detect that for you, and we can just click on download for Windows, and it will start downloading it on our system. So it will take only a few seconds, and once that is done, we are going to be installing both of these piece of software onto our system. So the download has finished successfully. So we will go inside our folder. So I've created this folder named Python Pro, and inside that I have copied both the files, which is the Python as well as the Visual Studio Code. So first of all, we will install the Python on our system. So we will just double click on this exe file, and it will start installing it on our system. So this is the setup for installing it on our system. So first of all, the main thing that we need to do on this installation page is we have to add Python 3.10 to path. Otherwise, it will not detect the Python on your system whenever you type Python in the command prompt or anywhere. So just keep in mind that this is an important step to add Python 3.10 to path, and you have to just click on this checkbox, and it will add the Python 3.10 to our path. And after that, we will just click on customize installation, and after that, you can see these are all the optional features, and they are by default checked. So we will not do anything here. We will just click on next. You can see these are all checked by default. We will click on next, and you can see here are advanced options. So we will just select this checkbox which says install for all users. So it will install Python for all users that are created on our computer. So once that is done, we can just click on install, and it will ask for administrator permission. So we will click on yes, and it will start installing it onto our system. So you can see it is installing all the required packages that are the built-in packages of Python. So it will take only a few seconds to install it on our system. So as you guys can see, we have successfully installed Python on our system. It says setup was successful, and we can just click on close. And after that, what we can do is we can just hover over this path from here, and here we can type cmd, and after opening the cmd, we can just type here Python hyphen version, and if we hit enter, so it will show us the latest version of Python which we have installed, which is the Python 3.10.4, which we have installed on our system. So if just type here Python, so it will open the Python interpreter for us, and we can just try to print out a line here, testing Python. And if we hit enter, so it will print that message on our console. So you can see here is the output that we get. So now we have successfully installed Python on our system. So we will just exit out of the Python interpreter and we will take a look at it later on in the course. So once we are done with that, we will just close this command prompt from here and we will try to install VS Code on our system. So to install the VS Code, we will just right click on the VS Code exe file and we will run it as an administrator, and we will give the permission by clicking on yes, and we will click on OK, and we will accept this agreement by clicking I accept the agreement. We will click on next. We can set the path where we want to install the VS Code. So I will just set it to default. If you want, you can change it. So we will click on next and we will click again on next. And in here, we are going to be selecting this checkbox which says create a desktop icon. And we are also going to be selecting these other two checkbox, and we will click on next. And it will ask us to install it on our system. We will just click on install and it will start installing it on our system. It will only take few seconds to install it on our system. And once the installation is successfully completed, you will see this page which says launch Visual Studio Code. We will just click on finish. It will open the Visual Studio Code for us, so you can see. So this is the page that we will get once the installation is finished. So you can just set up the theme and all, and once that is done, we can just close this. And if you want to open the Visual Studio Code inside the folder, so you can see right now it is not open inside our folder, which is the Python Pro folder. So I will just close it. And if we right click, so you can see here is an option open with code. So I will just click on that and it will open the Visual Studio Code inside this folder. And after opening, it will ask us to, do you trust the authors of the files in this folder? So we will just click on yes. And after that, you can see it has opened the Visual Studio Code inside our Python Pro folder. So once that is done, we will just close this get started page and close the Explorer as well. So after that, in here, we're going to be installing Python extension from the extension section or the marketplace. So you can just click on this extensions in here and it will open the marketplace for us. And in here, we can just search for Python and you will see this first result, that is IntelliSense. So we will just click on it and it is provided by Microsoft. You can see here are the details about it. You can just go through it. It will help us while we are coding in Python. So we will just click on install and it will start installing it on our system. It might take few minutes to install this extension as it is a large extension with IntelliSense. It will automatically detect what we are typing and give us suggestions. It will help us in debugging, and we can also open Jupyter notebooks inside this extension with the help of this extension. And there are many more features with the help of this extension we can add into our code. And after the installation, it will ask for this Windows security alert. We can allow the access by clicking here. And I think it has successfully installed the extension on our system, and you can see it has installed the extensions for us. So now we can create a new file from here and we will just name it as test.py. And in here, I will just zoom in a little bit so you will be able to see what I am typing in here. And we will just try to type print, and you can see here are the suggestions that we are getting with the help of this extension. So I will just select print, and you can see it is also giving us the description of this function that we are using. So using this extension, it will help us a lot during our coding. So in here, what we will do is we will just type hello world and an exclamation mark. And if we save the code and if we hover over this button which says run the Python file, we will select that and it will run the code inside our terminal. And you can see here is the output, hello world. And you can see we can also select different Python versions from here. So we have currently only one version on our system. So if you have multiple version of Python in here, so you can just select from there and use the appropriate version of Python that you want. So you can install multiple versions of Python and select from here which interpreter or which version of Python do you want to use. So currently we have only one Python version installed on our system, so we will just get one. So that was it for setting up our development environment for Python. So if you have any issues, errors or doubts regarding installing Python and VS Code, so you can leave them in the Q&A session and I will try to help you out as soon as possible. So that was it for this session. Let's move to the next lesson of this course.